Wonders, they say, shall never end. Today, we're diving into a major development that's shaking up regional security in West Africa. Nigeria, the giant of Africa and leader of ECOWAS, has just made a surprising and bold move. Nigeria has entered into a security alliance with the Alliance of Sahel States, also known as AS, which includes Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. Nigeria, which has been a chief protagonist of crushing sanctions against the AES nations, had to eat the humble pie and went on her knees begging Niger Republic, a member of the AES, to come to her security aid. This shocking shift away from France and the West, Nigeria's traditional ally, marks a new chapter in West African politics and security. But why did Nigeria do this? What does this really mean for regional security, international relations, and the future of West Africa? Could this be the beginning of a new era? Stick around, because we're about to unpack it all. To fully understand the magnitude of Nigeria's latest move, we need to look at the role of ECOWAS, or the Economic Community of West African States. As you may know, ECOWAS has been the cornerstone of regional cooperation in West Africa. It was established to promote economic integration, political stability, and security among its member states. And guess who's been leading the charge? That's right, Nigeria. Nigeria has long been the powerhouse behind ECOWAS, using its influence to steer policies and maintain regional order. Again, Nigerian President Bola Tinubu is the current ECOWAS chairman, a position he assumed since last year. But lately, tensions have been brewing between ECOWAS and three of its member states, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. These countries have been at odds with ECOWAS, particularly over issues like sovereignty, governance, and how to tackle the growing jihadist threat in the Sahel region. Before we continue, help us to grow this channel quickly by liking and sharing our videos. Also, remember to subscribe to be among the first to know once I drop a new video. Now let us continue. These tensions came to a head when Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger decided to leave ECOWAS altogether. Yes, they left. And not just that, they formed a new bloc called the Confederation of Sahel States. This new alliance was born out of a shared vision of a common defense policy aimed at tackling the security challenges in the Sahel. It was a bold move, signaling their desire to break free from the traditional influence of ECOWAS, and by extension, Nigeria and Western powers. So, what does this mean for Nigeria? How will this shake up the dynamics within West Africa? And more importantly, what does Nigeria's new alliance with Niger suggest about the future? Let's take a closer look at the recent meeting between Nigeria's defense chief, General Christopher Musa, and his counterpart from Niger, General Barmo. This meeting wasn't just a casual diplomatic visit. It was a significant step toward deepening military ties between Nigeria and the AES. The two defense chiefs discussed a wide range of issues, focusing on strengthening military cooperation, enhancing regional security, and most importantly, signing a Memorandum of Understanding, MOU. This MOU is more than just a piece of paper. It's a formal agreement that signals Nigeria's commitment to working closely with the AES on defense and security matters. Now, why is this meeting so crucial? For one, it shows that Nigeria might be using Niger as its entrance door into the AES. This strategy is not just about military cooperation. It's about positioning Nigeria as a key player in the Sahel region's security architecture. By aligning with the AES, Nigeria could be looking to exert its influence over the region in a way that it couldn't within the traditional ECOWAS framework. But what's in it for Nigeria? Well, the Sahel is one of the most volatile regions in the world, plagued by jihadist insurgency and political instability. By forging closer ties with the AES, Nigeria could be aiming to enhance its own security and address these threats more effectively. You see, it has been long established that jihadists threatening to invade Nigeria must first cross Niger Republic before getting into the Nigerian space. You may be surprised that Nigeria shares over 1,000 kilometers of land border, most of it unprotected. Therefore, jihadists could just walk onto Nigeria territory unchallenged, unless Niger military stops them. That's one reason Nigeria had to act, and quickly too. But could this also be a way for Nigeria to distance itself from its long-standing relationship with France? Nigeria and France have a long history, especially when it comes to defense and security cooperation. France has been a significant partner for Nigeria, particularly in combating terrorism in the Lake Chad Basin and the Sahel. French troops have been stationed in the region for years, and the two countries have worked closely on intelligence sharing and military operations. So, why the sudden shift? There are several factors at play here. First, there's growing resentment in West Africa, and particularly within the AES, against what's seen as French neo-colonialism. Many people in these countries feel that France's presence has done more harm than good, stoking instability rather than solving it. This sentiment has fueled a broader push to seek out new alliances that are more in line with the region's interests. For Nigeria, this shift might also be about geopolitics. Aligning with the AES could give Nigeria a stronger foothold in the Sahel, allowing it to play a more central role in regional security. Additionally, Nigeria might be looking to diversify its alliances, reducing its dependence on Western powers like France. But what does this mean for the region's security? This new alliance between Nigeria and the AES could have profound implications for ECOWAS. With 3 of its former members now part of a separate bloc, ECOWAS could find itself further weakened and less effective in addressing regional challenges. Nigeria, as the leader of ECOWAS, might have to reconsider its role within the organization. Could this be the beginning of the end for ECOWAS as we know it? Will Nigeria's new alliance with the AES lead to a split within ECOWAS, or will it force the organization to adapt to a new reality? On the other hand, this alliance could have a significant impact on security in the Sahel. The AES countries are on the front lines of the fight against jihadists and insurgency, and Nigeria's involvement could tip the scales. With Nigeria's military might and resources, the AES could become a formidable force in the region. But there's also a risk. Increased militarization could lead to more violence and instability, particularly if the underlying causes of the conflict aren't addressed. So, is this alliance a game changer for the Sahel, or is it a risky gamble that could backfire? Even in the midst of that, many are warning that Nigeria should not be trusted because it is deeply connected with Western powers that are impoverishing Africans through resource exploitation. It's hard to imagine that France will take this news lightly. After all, Nigeria has been one of France's key partners in the region. France's reaction could range from diplomatic pressure to re-evaluating its military presence in the Sahel. There could also be economic repercussions, as France might reconsider its investments and aid to Nigeria. But how far is France willing to go to protect its interests in West Africa? Beyond France, this development is likely to catch the attention of other international players, including the United States, the European Union, and even Russia and China. The US and the EU might be concerned about the shift in alliances, particularly if it leads to instability in the region. On the other hand, Russia and China might see this as an opportunity to expand their influence in West Africa. Could this be the start of a new geopolitical struggle in the Sahel? Domestically, this new alliance could have significant implications for Nigeria. On one hand, it could boost national security and strengthen Nigeria's position as a regional power. On the other hand, it could lead to political tensions, particularly if the alliance with the AES is seen as a move away from traditional allies like the United States and the United Kingdom. Economically, Nigeria might gain from increased cooperation with the AES, particularly in areas like resource sharing and infrastructure development. However, there could also be risks, particularly if the alliance leads to economic sanctions or a cooling of relations with Western powers. Geopolitically, this alliance could reposition Nigeria as a central player in the Sahel, but it could also isolate it from traditional allies. Is Nigeria betting too much on this new alliance, or is it a calculated risk that could pay off? To wrap things up, Nigeria's decision to enter into a security alliance with the AES is nothing short of groundbreaking. It signals a major shift in regional dynamics, and could have far-reaching implications for West Africa and beyond. As the leader of ECOWAS, Nigeria's move could either strengthen the region's security or lead to further divisions and instability. Only time will tell if this new alliance brings about the change Nigeria hopes for, or if it will create new challenges. What do you think? Is Nigeria making the right move by aligning with the AES, or is this a risky gamble? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay informed on the latest developments in West Africa.